such spiritual discussions, when we're talking about something which doesn't stay for long, which is not immortal in a way, we would say transient. And so, how's your channel going?
It's going well. I was not able to post a lot of videos due to this sister's wedding, but now I'm doing that and I'm continue again. So I have 13,000 subscribers now and it's going well.
Okay, okay, that's really nice. Yes. Okay. Besides using due to my sister's wedding, are there any other ways in which we can say this sentence?
Uh, Due to, okay, I can say, okay, I'm not getting it.
So we have two different ways of talking about cause
Mhm,
and effect. Either we can use a connector related to effect, which is like due
mhm,
to or because of my sister's wedding, I wasn't able to do it, and so on. And then we have
mhm,
some words for the cause thing. Because it was my sister's wedding, or since it was my sister's wedding, I wasn't
mhm,
able to do it. All these we can use. Due to is just a tad bit formal. You can use it in conversational English. You find it, yeah, you can use it, but it's still using because, since, or therefore. Well, they are much more common in conversational English than due to. That is there.
mhm,
And one other word we have is thanks to, which we use for both positive and negative things. For instance, um, mm, let's say my friend, he did something because of which I lost my job. I'd say, yeah, now thanks to you I'm unemployed. Thanks to you now I'm unemployed. It's like that.
mhm.
Can you try to
Okay.
make a sentence with thanks to? It works
Yes.
exactly like due to, yeah, but just for a more positive or a more negative thing.
Yeah, thanks to my sister that she got married, but I was not able to make a lot of videos.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, we can say thanks to my. In this case, as I said, like it has to be a little more positive or negative. In
Mhm.
that way, the here
Oh,
due to
okay.
works because it is very neutral. You are simply talking about a cause and effect. You are saying that it was your sister's wedding, you were busy, and that's why you didn't make videos. So it has to be a bit more formal, a bit more negative or positive. I'll give you one other example. For instance, um, thanks to the COVID pandemic, people have become more careful, or people have
Yes.
become more
Thanks
concerned.
to, in that way, I have in that context that thanks to COVID period, I learned speaking English.
Yeah, that works. Yes,
Mm,
exactly.
mhm,
Yeah, we can use it. These are all called connectors. What we have done so
mhm.
far were connectors related to cause and effect, but there are a lot many others. You can check them out on Google or YouTube. That is a really good addition to our vocabulary.
Sure.
Okay. Today's
What
topic,
about you? How was your 2023? And how's your 2024 turning on?
turning.
Turning, I think only.
It would be turning out.
Turning out. Okay.
Yeah, turning out. I think what did you use? Could you please correct
Turning
me?
on, I said. Hmm.
Ah, turn on. So turn on we don't use here. Turn on would be more for like when you turn on a fan or like switch it on. And there's one other meaning of turn on, which we need not go there. So here we can say turning out.
Hmm.
Yeah, turned out is more like when something happens in the future in a certain way. So it turned out to be very good. I wasn't really expecting it. It turned out to be very good. That is also
Hmm.
another way to use it. So as far as your question is concerned, I think uh, oh, my life is going really well. As far as my career is concerned, well, I have this job. I am really enjoying it. My French studies are going well. I'm not sure if I shared with you, but I'm learning French, and so
Hmm.
my studies are going really well. I'm able to devote a couple of hours practically every day to it.
So would you love to go to France in future?
Not exactly. At some point, like I don't really want to live there or stay there. But
But
yes,
it's your
definitely for a
passion.
short trip. Yeah, it's just that learning languages is more something that interests me, fascinates me, rather than actually traveling to different countries. At some point, certainly, I would like to go. I'd like to go to all the European countries, and France and
In
Italy would
Canada
definitely be
also,
great
I
to visit.
think they have French.
They have French, yeah, but
Hmm.
I'm not sure if I'm well, if I ever want to go to Canada. But yeah, as far as France is concerned, I think I'd definitely like to visit it. but I'm learning this language not because of that, simply because I love learning languages.
Okay, then it's
Yeah.
great. I thought a lot of people they do it because they want to like make their career. They learn
Hmm.
German, French because they want to go to France and Germany or
Yeah.
many European countries. That's why they learn it. I thought so.
Yeah, usually it is the reason, but in my case, it's just that languages fascinate me. That's why I'm learning it.
Okay, and apart from this, you are working as well, right?
That is just as a Clippingo tutor, I'm working.
And
So
apart
here
from
I,
this, do you do job as well? Something like
not really. So I am
you're a
like
full-time tutor nowadays.
exactly. So the thing is that my field is really going to be that of a teacher, and right now I just want to stick to English. Later on, in some years, I believe I'd move to the French teacher thing also. But for now, I'm just an English teacher, and I'm going to search for different institutions where I can do that. For now, I'm just here. So it's like it's an online
Hmm.
job. It's really comfortable.
Yeah, that's great
Yeah,
to
that's the
hear.
thing. Okay. Yes. So first of all, this word, can you say it? The name of the country?
French.
Yes, it would be France, not France. France. The air
Hmm.
sound is there. France.
Oh,
And
France.
France, correct. Exactly, the air sound.
Hmm.
Same goes for the word sorry, here I wanted to mention something else. Now, with this word, it's actually different. Although the suffix, as in it ends the same way, ance, the pronunciation here is different. This is not fragrance, this is
Fragrance.
fragrance. Fra, a,
Hmm.
fragrance.
Fragrance. Hmm.
Correct. Yeah, that happens with a lot many different words. Husband. It's not husband. It's husband. Island. Extent. So with a lot many words that happens. Anywho, one other thing. Many in our Indian English we use it a lot many times. Do a job. You should know that do a certain job means well you are going to complete a certain task. So if let's
Hmm.
say my RO the filter RO filter is well it is not working nowadays, and so if I do that, if I repair it, I'll say I did the job. Okay, I did the job
Hmm.
well. For any such thing, any such task, well you're going to use the word do a job. But when it comes to the occupation or the profession, we use working. Do a
Oh,
job
so I can
is,
ask, do
yeah.
you work?
Where else do you work? What else do you do in life? That is
Hmm.
another way to say it. But do a job is specifically refers to well doing a task,
A
completing a task.
project. Hmm.
A project in a way. It doesn't just have to
Hmm.
be a project. It could be a simple task. For that also, you can use it. Yeah.
Hmm.
Can you pronounce these two words again?
Project and podcast.
Podcast. Podcast.
Yeah, podcast.
Actually, you are adding an sound. It's not podcast. It's podcast. There are two syllables here. Podcast.
Podcast.
Correct. And same goes for project. The O sound is a bit more evident here, a bit more pronounced. Project. Project.
Project.
Perfect. Yeah, like that. Okay. Have you recently watched anything, any podcast or a movie that we can talk about, preferably in English?
I'm not interested in watching movies, but
Mhm.
yes, sometimes I watch podcast, and sometimes I watch the
Again,
videos
sorry,
of
again.
Jet
Sometimes
Shetty.
I watch podcasts.
Yeah,
Podcasts.
podcast.
Yeah,
Hmm.
sometimes I watch podcasts. Okay.
Hmm. So that's what I would say, but I haven't watched any specific thing recently.
Okay.
Recently.
Recently. Okay. So if you have watched any podcast, even if not recently, you can tell me about it. Perhaps that could give us a topic for the session.
Uh, I have to talk about anything which I watched.
Uh, yeah, exactly. A certain podcast that you watched. So, as I'm not sure if you remember or not, but in the last session also I told you that watching English content and speaking, these are two things that always go together, parallel, hand in hand. And so, well, you watch. That is how you learn the language, and then whatever you have learned, you try to speak it. That is the output language. So the input has to
Yeah,
come first, and
so
then the output.
sometimes I go and
Exactly.
watch the cricket clips because I like listening cricket commentary a lot.
Okay.
That
Listening to cricket
that I
commentary.
just I have a confusion. That is
Yeah.
commentary or commentatory. We call it
Yeah, commentary.
commentators. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it commentators would be the person, and commentary is the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
listening
so I
to,
like listening commentaries. Yeah,
yeah, we listen to something. So listening to commentaries.
yeah, listening to commentaries, commentaries, right?
Commentaries, perfect.
So because yeah, there was a test match, so sometimes I listen that and watch the clips of it. So
Hmm.
yeah, but recently I haven't watched any podcast. So that's what I would say.
Okay,
But I
okay.
like watching Jay Shetty sometimes, maybe Sadhguru videos and Jay and Ranveer, so such kind of people. But it
Okay,
depends on
okay.
my time. Yeah, I'm not.
Okay.
Sometimes I'm not that much available to watch videos only.
Okay, okay. We won't really say here, I'm not available to do something. That would be a bit formal, and you would
I
simply
don't
say, I'm
have
not
that much
available
laser
right now.
time to watch
Yeah, I don't
videos.
have a leisure time to do it, or sometimes I just don't find time for it. That would also work.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, so tell me about Jay Shetty. What is his podcast about? His channel about?
Yeah, his podcast name is On Purpose. So he talks about all the health, physical health, mental health, and spiritual health. So that's what he says. And he's the writer and author of a book, Think Like a Monk. So because he was born and raised in London, but he lived in India as a monk for 3 years in Bangalore, I think so. So he was here, then now he's living in the US and spreading awareness about the spirituality to help people to know the real ultimate goal of life. So he's in spirituality, I must say. So that's what he talks about. He invites
Hmm.
people, talk about all these things, their professions, same like Ranveer does with like Indian personalities a lot, and sometimes he invites foreign celebs as well. But he goes with the English people most of the time.
Okay. You said he lived in Bangalore. Jay Shetty, he lived in Bangalore for 3 years, isn't it?
In a monastery, yes.
In a monastery. Monastery.
Hmm.
Can you pronounce the word again? Monastery?
Monastery.
Monastery, correct. This word, can you pronounce it?
Celebrities.
Yeah, celebrities, correct. Okay. So when it comes to, well, that is a good topic. When it comes to the goal of life, what do you think that is? What is the goal of life according to you?
Yeah, for a lot of people, that is like, they want to complete and satisfy their material desires. And for someone, it can be a liberation. For some people, it is attaining that super soul. And some people, they want to go into abode of the Vishnu, the Lord Vishnu, that is spiritual world, we call it. So I think there is just, this is the perverted image of spiritual world. So this is
This is
material
the,
world, not so true, perverted image.
okay, perverted image.
Mhm. Of a spiritual world. So this is not true at all. It is a fake world, we call it, temporary and fake things with the matter. We have the spirit, that is soul, that is soul actually. But due to the contact of the matter, it becomes material. So we are not able to think like what is our real goal of life. But the real goal of life is to go back to Godhead.
Hmm, to go back to
Godhead
God had, in what sense? I didn't get
means
that
a
word last
spiritual
time.
word. Yeah.
Okay,
That is a
can you?
spiritual word. Like
Hmm.
when you will read the books related to spirituality, you'll come to know. They are all talk about that the God's home or the place that is the spiritual world where all the things and the good souls are there and they enjoy the great activities with the Lord
Hmm.
Krishna there. So,
Okay, yeah, I think I understand the concept, but just the word you used, Godhead. Did you use
mhm.
HEAD?
Yes.
Okay, okay. I think you said God had. It would be Godhead. Godhead. Can you pronounce the word again?
Godhead.
Yeah. Okay. I definitely do understand the concept. Yes. This. So we have temporary is one word we can use, particularly in such a spiritual discussions when we're talking about something which doesn't stay for long, which is not immortal in a way. We would say transient. It's transient, so it doesn't live for that long. It has a very short life, after which it is going to disappear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
transient.
Hmm. Okay. uh, That's really nice. And so Jay Shetty, he usually invites people to his podcast.
Yes, he does.
Hmm. Okay. When it comes to mental health, what tips can well you give me? What things do you think are the most important? What steps? What advices?
It's very important for a person to work what they like, because if you are working which you don't like, it gives you a stress. And 70% people, they are in wrong profession. They want to do something else in their life, but they are not able to due to their financial problems, maybe family matters, or many things, because they are not able to choose a right thing for themselves. So that's what the thing is. For the you have to spend time with the nature, do introspection, sit calm and composed sometimes. Don't work. Like hustle culture is a big problem, and it is a big cause, I must say, like for this mental stress and mental problems. So if the people would enjoy time with their family and somewhat like good time, so that will give them relief from all those things.
Hmm. And that will relieve them from all those things. Hmm.
Relieve them from all those
Hmm.
things.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. So Ashutosh, there's quickly one thing I wanna mention. So it was a really good session. I'll again check out your channel and I'll see in the last few months what progress you have made. As far as this session is concerned, I could see that you are able to express yourself very freely. If you're well, one thing, one direction in which you have to work is that your English, all the different words, they are sort of flat. In the sense, I'm not talking about your emotions, but the actual tone, the intonation of English, all the syllables, they are well equally stressed. Well, that shouldn't be there. So in English, I usually give this one example to my learners when I have to explain this concept. When I say, "Can you come to the market with me?" Well, that sounds very unnatural. Normally in English, a person would say, "Can you come to the market with me? Can you come to the market with me?" You
Hmm.
see, I'm stressing certain words while others really go down. Normally that
Hmm.
happens well as long as we are listening to native speakers. This is very important. When you listen to native speakers speaking, like in talk shows or interviews, when they're talking at a natural pace, we are really able to pick up on that.